Yo, this is a motherfucker who needs no introduction. You are watching Breaking Records Radio.
But so I think that is important, and I think that's to like I said, we are going to get into the history, but just to keep it on the current tip because it's parallel with what we're talking about. But Stitch is very much one of those artists too. So when I heard that you two were doing an EP, I'm like, yo, this is going to be crazy. Like I don't even know what to expect. And shout outs to the dude Stitch because that's the homie.
Album, full-length album.
Okay, it's a full-length album.
It's an album, bro. It was an EP, but then we're like, Snack was actually like, you guys, if you're coming out together as a unit on a project, I think you guys need more songs. So we added another like 4 joints and made it a full album. It was actually Snack's idea to be like, nah, man, I think you two together, people want to hear more, So it's like, just do more work, and I think it'll go longer. We can stretch it longer. So it's like, and then we did these other joints, and the other joints we did are so different and opened up such a different portal of like within our own genre, which is like, it was a really good call, make an album, because we added joints that were completely different and it wouldn't have been received differently, I think. Like this is a full on every spectrum. That's all I can say, bro. It's a masterpiece to me. It's my favorite piece of music I've ever made.
Really?
And we did it. Yeah, bro. Like, and I've made a lot of projects, songs.
I was gonna say, that's saying a lot.
This is the best I've felt about a full body of work, not just on my own, like a full body of work. And we did it all over the internet. Like I only met Stitch one time before we made this album, and that was shooting No Ragu in Toronto right before the show.
That was the day when that's when I opened up for you and we were supposed to do the interview and all that shit.
Yeah, it happened. That was a wild. I was pretty angry that I was very angry that day. That night.
Were you?
Yeah, on the promotional side of things, I was pretty pissed at how things were handled. Like I went up at 1:40 in the morning. So there was like 30 people left. And it was like, and then, I don't listen, 20 artists on the bill is like hard. I get it. You know what I mean? Like, who am I? Like, whatever. Promoters hustle the way they got to hustle. But I was just like, dude, I'm out here. It's 1:40 in the morning and now I'm up and it's like a weekday. Not a good look. So I was pretty angry about that, so. But anyways, it's all good. It's been beefs and whatnot. Differences have been squashed, so it's all good. But yes, that was the day. That was the first day I met Stitch.
Crazy.
So
that's crazy.
And then we made this whole album over voice notes, over like voice memos and voice notes, sending shit back and forth. I'll do this, add this here, take that bar out, whatever. It was crazy. Never did an album like that, but it sounds like we were literally in the booth together, side by side, like because the way. So meticulously crafted and everything transitions into one another. I mean, shout out to Jamie Hughes, Sauce God engineer, one of the greatest engineers in the country. He put that together. He made it sound like we were literally in the booth together. So I got to give respect where it's due for sure. Jamie Hughes is a huge integral part of this one, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I veered off. I just.
No.
I feel passionate.
No, not at all.
Project, so.
Not at all. That the whole point of bringing it up is to talk about it. So like you're my favorite kind of interview because you wouldn't believe how many people you get, and you're like, so like let's talk about this, and they're like, yeah. Oh, you're like, okay. You got anything else to say about it? Like
you gotta dig. Yeah, you don't gotta dig with me. I'm a pretty open book, man. But yeah, dude, I'm really excited for this.
I think that shows your passion in your artistry too, right? Like when I interview a cat and they don't really want to elaborate on anything, like I get it when I'm interviewing an old head and I'm talking about shit that happened 20 years ago. Like, oh, yo, how'd you meet fucking Grandmaster Flash? They're like, oh my God, I've told the story a million times. Like this is so beyond me. I get it. But when artists are like, still hungry and coming up and they don't want to even talk about themselves, it makes me feel like, do you believe in yourself? You know what I mean?
It's like if you're not interested in your own shit, how are you going to convey that interest for others to care about your shit? So I get it.
Exactly. So no, like you're right on the button with it.
Yeah. Sorry, my battery was low. I had to press something.
That's all good. I know how it is. I'm guessing that's an iPhone because that's what mine does too.
Yeah, it's an iPhone.
Yeah. Those little fuckers with the stupid boxes popping up and all that. But no, I'm excited to hear the project. Last I heard it was an EP, so I wasn't even aware that you guys had turned it to a full-length album. And I think that's really dope what you said as well too, because I think with how multi-dimensional Stitch is and how multi-dimensional you are, the fact that you said that this is some of the best music you've ever made, and you guys touched realms you hadn't even tried touching that with this second batch of songs, I think that's great. Because if I got a project from you two and it was just a bunch of bars over like, you know, just like da 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 da, it would have been dope, but it would have been, it almost would have been what was expected, but like not what was wanted. You know what I mean? So I'm really glad you said that.
That's a home run, because me and Stitch are like, well, we'll give them a couple joints that are like, whoa, you know, like, okay, this is what people want. Oh, it's Junk and Stitch, they're gonna rap. So yeah, we have that on there. But then we also were like, that's just so predictable. You know what I mean? So let's give them something that like we don't even expect out of one another. And that is the type of shit I think will build an audience further and just like push and really have people tune in. You know what I mean? So, like you said, we didn't want to just, that'd be cool, but you listen to the album maybe once or twice and then it's like, yeah, they did their thing. Obviously we all know Stitch can spit, and then people know I can rap. So it's like, give them the predictable stuff, which is dope, or give them a little bit of that and then a bunch of other shit that no one would ever expect. Like I find that's more interesting to me and will stand the test of time a bit more, you know?
100%.
So I'm glad you say that, because I know you fuck with the bars, bro, heavy. I know you like rap, good rap. So you saying that, you are like a demographic that is key. You know what I mean? So you saying that means the likelihood of a lot of other people kind of in your same stature of demographic will probably feel the same way, which is dope. So that's a win, you know? Word.
Yeah, no, 100%, man.
This happened to me on this album with Stitch. It happened to me. I was like, I mean, first of all, I'm the one who hit him up. I fucking seen some clip, I don't know, early 2019 of him rapping somewhere in some basement or something. I'm like, what the fuck, this guy? And I only heard Stitch's name one time before that. And me and Hungry were locked into battle Young Stitch and Payday in Vancouver fucking almost 10 years ago. They no-showed 5 days. They're like, we're not coming 5 days before the fucking battle. So me and Hungry are like, what? We prepared this crazy 2-on-2 battle. It was nuts. And then they bailed. It's all good. I just hung out with Payday when Stitch was here shooting videos and shit. He flew out, hang out, it's all good. We laughed about this shit. So I was like, this is the last time I heard about Stitches. He was the guy that fucking no-showed us. So I checked out this clip. He was bodying it, and I was like, "Whoa, holy fuck!" I hit him up. I'm like, "Bro, we were supposed to battle." We laughed about it then, and was like, "Your shit's nice, bro." And I just checked his shit, and then I'm like, "Yo, we need to do something. Like, we need to do something." He's like, "Yeah, let's fucking do something for sure. I see you working out there too, bro. Like, fuck, your shit's crazy." Blah blah blah. Reciprocal love. Then I sent him No Ragu. I had my fucking verse on it done. He sent his back. Anyway, so that's how we connected. But then this happened to me with Stitch, because, you know, oh, fuck, he's crazy. Like, on his punchline game is nuts. So I was like, fuck, I got to come certain way, or maybe people won't like my shit as much. You know, I was having, and I'm like, but then I was like, hold on a minute. It's like, I know I'm good. It's fine. You know what I mean? But I had that fucking same train of thought where I'm like, oh man, I don't know, dude. Is this gonna hurt? And what if I don't come as correct as he does? Who people are gonna fucking? And I was like, I just shook that shit off though. I was like, no, fuck that. And I went in, and Stitch is like, dude, are you nuts? This shit is insane the way you're coming with at me. Like, he's like, every 3 days you're sending me like 4 songs with the craziest verses and hooks, and he's like, I'm fucking rattled. I'm thinking the same way you are, and I'm like, okay, glad we're both thinking this way, but. Just to put it in perspective, like, that shit happened to me this year, bro. So like, it happens, you know what I mean?
That's amazing though, man. You know what? And I think that's important too, is that, you know, when you don't have someone to spar with, sometimes it's not that you lose motivation, but sometimes you enable yourself to get a little too experimental. And I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm just talking about as an artist. When you don't have someone like in the corner that you're like continuously sparring with and always trying to one up and do better than, out of like a brotherly love, sometimes you kind of like go off the deep end, you know what I mean? Start making like, you know, I find I've made the worst songs of my life and the weirdest songs of my life when I haven't had someone who's kind of given me a competitive nature to keep up with. You know what I mean? So I think that's really dope that you said that, because even though you're on the West Coast, you're doing your thing, you got your buzz. He's over here, he's got his buzz. It might not be quite as big, but he's doing his thing.
No, dude, it's his. I mean, yeah, whatever. That's all
Like,
objective, really. But yeah.
No, that's all subjective. But I just mean, I'm talking about at the time, like, because he's come a long way in the last year and a half too. You know what I mean? From like, I'm talking about at this point. I don't know exactly what your buzz was at the time, but I know that you were ringing some bells over here and stuff. So I can only take things in where I see it at my face value.
No, for sure.
But like, to me, like, you're kind of, the way I would have viewed it was you're a little bit kind of big homie in the situation. You guys are pretty close, you know, but you're a little bit big homie in the situation in my eyes from where I would have been looking at it. But for you to be like, yo, he's making me question my pen every track, and he's keeping me, like, that's the important thing, you know what I mean? I think that's the most exciting thing about the album.
I'm not even tripping, and I'll say that out loud, like, but at the same time, that competitiveness in both of us, and he's telling me the same shit. He's like, you fucking crazy, you bodied me on this song, fucking I'm redoing my verse, you know. We've had a lot of these conversations, trust me. And then and we're like, but now that album is like, we're both like, you know, trying to like basically like this, but in a like united way. So it's just made the album that much more fire. Oh, you want to have a 17 syllable fucking double time tear? I'll do a 24 syllable. You know what I mean? It's like, whoa, it just made the album that much better, that competitiveness. But if you use that competitiveness to your advantage, the album just went from here to here, like in quality. You know what I mean? It's like word. And that's what you were saying. Like, if you're sparring with, like, Nas needs a Jay-Z and Jay-Z needs a Nas to be where they're at. You know what I mean? Not comparing myself, but it's just that mentality. Like, it is what it is. You need a good opponent if you want to fucking test yourself, you know? And that's where this Lions Eat Goats album is at. That's the name of the album, Lions Eat Goats.
Well, and I find most great MCs, when they don't have someone in their circle who they can continuously spar with, they'll find other people to spar with, whether those people know they're sparring or not. Like, it's the reason why after the Nas and Jay thing, Jay's subliminally dissing people every album of his career ever since then, except for me, even on 444. You know what I mean? It's like, he needs someone to still spar with. You know, like, as an MC, you need a threshold and a point to where you're like, I'm trying to be better than this. You know what I mean? Like, I would be lying if I said as an MC, you and Stitch weren't on my threshold for who I'm trying to be better than. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how you have to be as an MC. But without you guys, it goes back to what I said before. You guys gave me the inspiration to actually kind of start rapping again. Dudes like you guys, because I'm like, people care about rapping.
That's sick.
You know what I mean? So that's exactly what it is. You need someone to spar with, whether they're conscious that you're sparring or not. You need that. And so when you have someone in your circle you can do it with, you're going to create the best music you've ever fucking made. You know what I mean? And I think you two are perfect fucking sparring partners. So I'm excited to hear this fucking album.
This shit is stupid, bro. I can't. It's fucking crazy, bro.
I'm excited to hear this, man. Because you guys are both monsters. And for you guys to be sharpening each other's sword like that, and like just you telling me the process behind it, it's like, okay, I know. Not only am I ready for some different shit now, but I know I'm ready for you guys to be anteing up on each other on each joint, and that's.
Well, we're leveling up. We leveled up here musically as artists, both, in my opinion. I mean, that's our combos, dude. We talk every day, me and Stitch, and we're like, the hardest part now is like, dude, this shit's been done. We're like, good it out, like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, but it's coming next week. Next week, the rollout starts next week, so it's heavy.
So we're back on the record. All right. Well, Junk, man, I appreciate your time very much, man. I'm looking forward for the project with Stitch. So we're gonna get into it, once we wrap this up right here. But we got just tell us what you can let the people know as of right now about the Lions Eat Goats project. I don't know if you could tell us the date, any of that stuff, but let us know what you can let us know before we let you go on that.
The date is end of January. Things are gonna start happening. Heavy things are gonna start happening. But like I said, kind of before, this project is like maybe the pinnacle of like my ability on multiple levels for me personally. And Stitch has said the same thing to me. So I think this is our best version of ourselves with our craft on one record for both of us together. So you're going to get like the best versions of us both, and you're going to be really, anyone that listens to it is not going to hear an album that they expect. I'll tell you that for sure. And the beats are just insane, banging beats. Shout out to everybody. I honestly don't want to say too much, man, but
yeah, I feel you.
Snacks on the album, Known is on the album, DRX doing cuts, Imperative, my dog, producing, Alja from Out Your Guys' Ways, producing a shit ton of tracks on this album. The guy's insane. Starcore has joints on it, and my guy Ivan Townsend from out here. Beautiful production. Jamie Hughes is crazy. Every feature is dope. Everything is Stealth Bomb. Like all the features are all Stealth Bomb household names. So yeah, man, I think it's going to shake things up, and I think it's going to push the envelope of lyrical rappers, what they can do, where they can stay true to their craft and their like integrity, but also push the envelope and use that lyrical ability to say things in a manner that may be considered trappy or really poppy, not corny poppy, but in a way that's like just the norm digestible of digestible, but like the norm of the sonic wave right now, but with our own spin, with like keeping the integrity of our lyrical ability and the importance of that. So I think it's a big gumbo pot of everything done really well. It's not like they can rap good, but that hook is, I don't like it. Nah. Let me tell you, there's no off-putting melody. Melodies check, bars check, punchlines check, back and forth check, faster rap check, slower rap check, female stuff for girls, stuff for dudes. There's everything on there. It's a full spectrum. We hit it all. So that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's the album that you didn't know you wanted to hear, is what I should say. That's it. That's what I want to say.
You know what? I love to hear that, man, because the way I've seen you talking about it online and the way I've seen him talking about it online, there's one thing. With lyrical rappers, especially ones who actually get some respect, it's very easy for them to be like, yo, this is the illest shit you ever heard. And they'll say that about everything they drop. And you'll be like, okay, you start taking it with a grain of salt. You're like, is it the dopest shit I'm ever going to hear, though? But after you and him have both said that, and now you've I've heard you explain the project. I'm like, yo, I think these guys mean it when they say that. This isn't just your rapper rhetoric.
We do. And I know people are like, I've done that. But I really believe that. I haven't done that too much. It's like, obviously, I think every project should be your best work.
Yeah.
With craftsmanship, sound, investment, effort, all that stuff. Why not? Like why are you getting worse? You know,
you should be constantly growing.
But in all honesty, I think just the competitiveness of us both being like, you know, he sent me a verse and I'd be like, fuck this motherfucker, I gotta do better than this. So it's like, okay. Or I'd send him a verse and he's like got my verse in his headphones for a week and he's just like studying on how to body me on the track, and vice versa. So it's like that competitive nature is just, it's just like, here's my verse, here's his, boom, boom, boom. We just go back and forth, and it's just like, okay, bro, well, that's why we're both like, this is the best shit we've made, because we're like, we had to make it that good just to compete with the other dude. So it's like, it was a natural competitive progression, and it's just like, yeah, we're ready to drop it now, bro. I'm losing sleep over like my anxiety over having to release this. So that's it. Lions Eat Goat, come into a theater near you.
The rap nerd in me is fucking so excited to hear that shit, man. I'm looking forward to hearing this project, man. And Junk, I can't thank you enough for your time, my G. I appreciate
you, man. Like I said, thank you for digging and caring about the craft and the history, man. It's really important. You know what I mean? So bless you, bro. And respect, man. I got nothing but love for you, bro.
No doubt, man. I look forward to us being able to continue this. You know, there's many, many, many stones unturned in your history so far. We just covered the early Easter eggs. You know what I mean? So there's a lot more.
Hopefully we can do one like face to face.
In person, yeah. Ideally, you know, those are always the best. But I mean, you know, we'll see where the world's at. We'll see where the world's at and take it from there. But yeah, hopefully, man, by the end of the year at least or something, you know, the world can open up a bit more and we can, we come through the radio station and we'll do it real proper.
Yeah, man.
You and Stitch together, you know what I mean? We do it something like that too. That could be fun too.
That would be
Stitch
sick.
is the homie, man. So
Yup.
You know, something like that's always possible too, you know.
For sure.
But
For sure.
you know, if I don't talk to you, but I know I will be about getting songs. But I just want to say publicly, anyways, I wish you the most success with this project, and I'm looking forward to it too.
Yo, just like the logo on my sweater. Thank you, bro.
Hey, no doubt, my man.